We are doing this in person.
Yep, I have to look into Gamage's eyes.
It's a weird juxtaposition that I'm not used to.
Yeah, now when I phase out and gloss over while Gamage is talking, he's gonna know immediately. Instead of figuring it out 5 minutes later when his rant is done.
5 minutes or like a week later when I'm actually editing the episode.
Depends on the week. Sometimes it's instantaneous. Sometimes it's a whole chunk of time.
Have you listened to... I forgot to tell you. Have you listened to the new Caravan Palace yet?
No, what?
I posted it in the Discord, but...
I haven't looked.
Fuck me, I guess.
When did you post it?
2 days ago?
Where was I 2 days ago, Gamage?
It was. I posted it last week after we did the half music episode.
Yeah, I have no excuse.
It was... Yeah, it was like literally right after we were done recording because I was excited. It is like the Dirty House mix is what it's called. And it's a really good album. I love it. Not going to make the list. It is disqualified because it is a remix album, a best hits album, and then also a new album with new songs. It's all over the place. But it's also like one full set. So it's like the entire album is just a transition of songs, which is incredible.
Yeah.
But that also means that I can't season my playlist with it.
Yeah, because it just suddenly picks up in the middle. I have a love-hate relationship with albums that do transitions because they sound really cool when you're listening to the actual album, and then you get to the point of adding it into a playlist. Usually like, oh, this specific song really slaps, and then you hit the weird start and end where you're like, this isn't right.
Especially if you're listening to like a slow song and then it just goes it just immediately starts with like a rave beat. Yeah, and you're like,
yeah.
I mean, it's a great album, but like it is an album that you have to open up, press play, and then just let go. Like you can't really add songs to other playlists.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
It does have some really good new songs, though.
I'll have to check it out on my very long car ride back.
You won't. You'll be listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's fucked up of you to peer pressure me into listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl while I'm in the middle.
Count of Monte Cristo?
I actually was, but now the problem is like I just want to be done with it so that I can continue Dungeon Crawler Carl.
You could just continue Dungeon Crawler Carl.
No, I know, but the problem is Count of Monte Cristo is from the library app, whereas I just have access to Dungeon Crawler Carl. So like the stream of logic says that I should finish Count of Monte Cristo first, or at least attempt to finish as much of it first. Because I still have like fucking 24 hours left in the goddamn book. But I don't know if it's actually going to happen that way.
No, not anymore.
Why is this peach hairy? It's got like butt hair.
This is the pink tea shop that we go to in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. You're able to get these pink smile things. And they come with a big fat pink butt thing on it.
Yeah, the peach butt.
And the material that this is...
attracts cat hair.
Attracts all hair of all sort.
It's great because it just makes it look like a really hairy ass.
Do cats have pubic hair?
I don't like. Yes, but no. Like I don't think it's texturally different.
I mean, they have hair in their mons pubis. Do cats have mons pubi? I
don't think so.
The plural for it.
I don't think so. Mons pubi. I don't think they do. But like, I feel like dude cat junk, like their little peepees are furry.
Their peepees are also barbed, so like they're already
but that's like their internal
doing
pee-pee.
Different things.
It's already a little different. Their downstairs mix-up is already a little strange. Before I came here, I was having this weird sensation where I was like, I can see you, Gamage. Don't forget.
Sorry, I usually, when you start going on a thing, I just zone gloss out.
Yeah.
Really, it's me glossing out that you get to see rather than the other way around.
Surprise. No, I had this weird urge before getting here where I was like, I know it's because I don't live near one, but I'm getting a strange urge to walk into a Walmart. And then the second that Brittany and I drove over to the mall where the Walmart was, I was like, no. I really don't want to do that. I regret even having the thought. I'm good.
Occasionally, like twice a year, we have to go to Walmart for something. And each time I regret it because I think our Walmart is in the book of records for being the smallest Walmart. Because like
the Guinness book?
I mean, it probably isn't. Like, why would that be a record? But I do think that our Walmart is the smallest Walmart because our city is a responsible city and was like, no, Walmart bad. And then Walmart decided to sneak in through our mall. And that's like a roundabout way of doing it that's legal. So like, that's why we have a Walmart, because we didn't want a Walmart.
I love that it snuck in through the mall.
That's what it did. And so we have it. And because it's in our mall, it's in like a tiny fucking, what did it used to be? JC Penney? Or was it Gottschalks? It was the Gottschalks building. Do you remember Gottschalks? You don't.
No, what the fuck is that?
Gottschalks was like it's like, you remember in the 90s, there's like 18 different outlet stores that like, we have clothes, we also have tires and toys. I don't know what you want.
So it's like a Sears?
Like a
Yes.
Okay.
Like, it had perfume and jewelry sections and then clothing, but also like fancy dishware and stuff. It was the place to buy wedding gifts from.
It was the location.
Yes.
Fun fact, Gott means God, and shocks means to mock or make fun of.
Wedding gifts.
Fuck God.
It's always been my favorite tidbit.
Oh, if I ever have a store, that's what it's going to be called.
Are you picking me up, or do you need to be repeating what I say so the audience can hear?
I guarantee we're picking you the fuck
I
up.
imagine it's somewhere in here.
Okay, because I could project more.
You could just get in the chair and just move a little bit closer to Rachel. It might be easier.
Yeah, you could just camp with us.
It's a squeaky chair.
Well, you're a
Then
squeaky bitch.
Then just project more, I guess.
Okay.
She said Macy's. It's like a Macy's. If you didn't hear, which I'm sure you did. Or at least Gamage will.
Thank you for choosing We Have That Podcast at Home. We have all of the gifts for your pet needs.
Which is why we're renaming ourselves Godchucks or whatever the fuck it is.
I usually write something down to go, and I don't have anything. I have nothing.
I know you were like looking down like, where
I have
is it?
never been so ill prepared for an episode than right now. Like, we phoned it in the last 2 weeks, and I said that, like, I'm like, I don't have anything, and that's true, but like, I had at least bookmarks and like old copies of things that I could read off of. Now I don't. My computer's behind me. I can't even like go, oh, it's crazy, and just browse Reddit like normal. Like, I'm looking at the Reddit app on my phone now, but it's not the same.
So Gamage is the same level of prepared that I am every time we record. Just looking at your phone
last
going,
week you were too prepared because like you went on music. I don't know if you saw what the episode name is. No, you didn't.
No, I haven't.
It's
Rachel showed up for once.
No, the episode name was just Rachel Talks Music.
That's accurate. That is what happened. What did we even do last week? Was it supposed to be no stupid questions?
I mean, we did a no stupid question.
Yeah, a singular one.
Yeah,
I
but
named it No Stupid Music.
no, because some of the music's stupid. We talked about
something.
Marina.
No,
we talked about Marina.
We
Marina's
talked
stupid.
about Ringo Starr.
Speaking of, no, not Ringo Starr, no. But speaking of music, you recommended Julian Baker.
Yeah.
And I didn't listen to her.
I'm not surprised.
Not at this time. I have listened to her since. She's okay. But I was on Reddit the other day, as I do, and I got this post recommended to me from the Julian Baker subreddit, and I'm like, I have never once said anything. It just...
This post says me, a straight man, listening to anything by Julian Baker or Boy Genius, and it's that Willem Dafoe screen cap from the first Spider-Man.
It's William Dafoe, actually?
Sorry, William Dafoe.
It's
Dafoe.
It is his thing is Willem Dafoe, but his actual name is William Dafoe. Like he said Dafoe in one of his early audition tapes for something. I forget what it is.
William Dafoe.
William Dafoe is spelled with an E, not an
You don't get to
Correct.
tell people how to
That is
pronounce
his
their
IMDb
names.
page. He is professionally known as Willem Dafoe, but like his birth name is William. He said it multiple times.
His name's spelled Willem, like with an
No,
E.
it's originally Williams James Defoe, but he now spells it as Willem, like Willem.
Who the fuck spells? I thought it was just William, and
That's
he
his
pronounced
stage
it
name.
Willem.
No, I mean like
No,
Willem
I
is his
thought he
stage
just
name.
pronounced it weird.
I'm
I
sure
was
He
like
is pronouncing it
William
weird.
Defoe.
There's probably like one director like called him that, and he was just starting out, and he's like, sure, yeah, whatever.
He's like,
call
yeah,
me
I'm
whatever
Willem.
you want. I want.
But yeah, if you look up old clips, he's just like, my name's William Dafoe, and it's jarring because no, you're not.
William
Whatever you
Dafoe.
want to call me.
I'm gonna write a book about a like angry old cowboy named William Dafoe.
Go for it.
And then William Dafoe can play
Writing
him.
books is kind of hard.
Yeah. Seems like it.
And then like they say as a writer, you're supposed to keep reading books. You keep reading because that like kind of helps you. But really, it just makes me go, oh.
No, what you have to
I'm
start
not this
doing
good.
is reading books by like shitty authors that have been published, because then you'll be like, oh, I can fucking write better than you,
I
son of a
mean,
bitch.
I definitely have.
Because you can't like go ape shit and read like War and Peace and then be like, wow, I'm never gonna write something like this, because you're just not, you're not whoever the fuck wrote War and Peace. I don't even know who it is. But you can read Sandra Hill's Rough and Ready and go, wow, she published 62 books about time traveling vampire Vikings. So can I.
Do you want to know why he actually changed his name?
It's weird that you had that on like ready to go. You had it like uploaded on your deck, like ready to play that card like it's a trap.
I want
to
you
talk
to
about
know
that?
I'm always ready with Sandra Hill's Rough and Ready in the backlogs. There was a video long ago that was put out on YouTube where somebody does a dramatic reading of Sandra Hill's Rough and Ready,
you
and it's
showed me that one.
fucking hilarious. But so for Christmas one year, me and my friends got each other the book as like a gag gift. Only this is when I learned that there's like 62 fucking novels in the series, and I thought it was like maybe she just written 62. No, it's a whole series about time-traveling vampire Vikings.
If Doctor Who could be
Fucking
on air
crazy.
for 63 plus years, time travel and vampires works. It's proven. We have document on it.
And so do Vikings, and just shove it
You've
all
seen
together.
that one, right? That, I mean,
Do you want me to read it from the top? Play zoo? I'll be a sheep, you be a donkey, and I'll ram your ass. No hesitation. Caroline turns around and lifts her ass in the air like a stray cat in heat. Caterwauling down a dark alley? What the fuck is that?
caterwauling. You know, caterwauling.
No, what is that?
With a southern accent.
Caterwauling
Caterwauling.
down. Caterwauling down a dark alley. Fuck my ass, Dave. Fuck it. Caroline pleading to be torn wide open. Dave wasting no time takes his swivel-headed penis. What the fuck does that mean? Like a swivel as in a chair swiveling? Like it just, the head
Your
rotates?
guess is as good as mine. Don't
It's like
ask
a
me.
lazy Susan. You can just, or like a fidget spinner. Just. Dave wasting no time takes his swivel-headed penis and augers it deep inside her rectum. I'm glad I did the southern voice for augers also. Until he finds the lost gremlin world of Froglim. Kidding. I have no idea why I wrote that. Dave fucks Caroline's ass with his normal-shaped human cock. Dave...
No longer on a
Yeah, it's no longer on a swivel. Dave is thankful Caroline is good at wiping. Jesus fuck. Dave's penis begins tingling in a certain way. Something neat is happening. He then remembers something about his 8 sex ed class. Grade 8. Sorry, I skipped a whole word. I'm now realizing in this moment what I really want in life is Reba McEntire to do romance novels that are like this. I think it'd be so good.
She's too high of a card to afford to read that
Okay,
shit.
yes, but I think she would find it funny also, which is where I think we could pipeline this in. No pun intended. His penis is about to vomit white Oreo cream stuff, his own special marshmallow paste, interrupting all the sounds of the animal kingdom that Caroline is making so he can inform her of the potential cum shots her ass is about to receive. He asks, "Want to know how a failed vasectomy works?" Yes, yes, my Tarzan man, make my ape go shit. The fuck? Dave, with complete control, asks, Wanna know why nice guys finish last? Because they let their women come first. He then gives her the hardest thrust and boom goes the dynamite. It doesn't actually say that. It does say boom. Caroline has the biggest orgasm any woman has ever experienced. So hot.
So good. The biggest.
It was huge. It's
The
a
big,
huge
beautiful
orgasm. It's a this big, beautiful bill is for her to have a big, beautiful orgasm. Caroline, exhausted. I can't do a Trump voice. Caroline, exhausted by all the steamy passion, collapses in a heap of sweaty body parts. That sounds. I know, like, get what you're saying, but it does sound like you chopped her up. It might be because you're in an alley. Panting like a dog back from a
forgot we're in an
5K
alley.
run. But Dave isn't done. You must be a bowl of popcorn because when I'm done, there's only gonna be seeds left in you. That's fucking crazy line.
His cum.
Yeah.
Oreo stuffing?
Oreo
Yeah.
cream stuff. Not Oreo stuffing. It's vomit white Oreo cream stuff.
That's not very viscous.
No, it's
No, it's
That's
quite
like-
thick.
It's
Look,
quite.
he hasn't.
It's like wet chalk.
He
It's
hasn't
Like,
had a lot of water recently.
it's
okay?
like mud. It kind of like it's like
It is
pooping
like
out of the
mud.
urethra.
Look, he has an STD. Don't judge. We don't shame people anymore these days. Turning her over onto her back, he spreads her legs as wide as they can go and puts his cock deep past where Caroline's hymen used to be. Like, recently? Like, this... In this moment, we just broke this? Or, like, you're like, I think it used to be there.
I thought he was in her ass.
Yeah. Yes. We've moved holes. We've moved holes, so at some point,
He did
there
say
used to
eighth
be a
grade
hymen in
sex
there.
ed,
Yeah.
so it
This
sounds
is
about
true.
right.
And fills her with at least 2 gallons of semen. That's a fuckload, dude. If you weren't dehydrated before, you are now. Or so it feels. Ah, gotcha. Hyperbole. Dave's entire body pulsates, dumping loads and loads of microscopic penile worms inside her. What the fuck? The amount of sperm injected inside her is countless. Actually, it's 2 gallons.
My point is that I was trying to make is that I feel like nobody writes these kinds of books seriously. Like, I'm gonna make a hot book. They're like, I'm gonna fuck around on Adderall for a weekend and I'm gonna see what I can do. And then it gets released and becomes a big thing. And somebody's like, wow, I can make money off of this, and they keep doing it.
Okay. Yes and no. And I'm gonna add a caveat to this. So recently somebody gave me a book called Summer with Sasquatch.
I remember.
And we've talked about it before. And it's fucking hilarious. And it is not particularly well written. And it is a terrible smut novel. However, this person has become so excited at people's interest in their book that it, like, when they said they were talking about it and they're like, when they first started writing it, they like didn't think it was going to be a thing, and then they became really passionate about the project, and now they're like, they've been given new life with the fact that people are purchasing it, and they're like, yeah, I think I'm going to write a second one, and they just are so invigorated that more is
Isn't
going to
that what I
happen.
just said? Like,
Yeah,
it's-
but I just mean, like, you're saying like, oh my god, I can make money off of this.
Well,
I think this is the like alternative pathway here is I'm so passionate about this now because I've been doing it for so long, and now people are validating my passion.
I
When
feel
it's
like it's a little bit of both, because like,
Yeah, I mean, probably.
I have published, I have made money on book. Nah, it's not.
On book?
It's not a deep, rich vein. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody's going to be able to make that Joanne Rowling money or Stephen King money.
50 Shades of Grey money.
50 Shades of Grey
That was a
money.
fan fiction.
God. Yeah,
you
50
need
Shades
something?
of Grey was a fan fiction.
Twilight.
Can I help you, ma'am? She screamed at me last night. Gambit just picked up a cat and then levitated her above the ground before being like, no. And then holding her to his chest.
That's his cat.
She's got to poop.
Like, she has to poop or she just pooped?
She smells like fart.
She's
Bad
not
fart.
a good smelling cat.
No, she's not.
Learn to clean yourself, bitch.
Right?
Gross.
But like, I was just saying that, like, I feel like making these novels, because I almost hit that point where I'm like, what if I just wrote a shitty, like, romance
terrible
novel? What was I
romance
talking
novel?
about? I was gonna do one where all the suitors were bred, That was an idea I was
Yeah,
tossing
I
around
think
like
so.
a couple months ago that I completely forgot about.
I thought it was really funny that you chose particularly bread, just because I have a joke with somebody where we talk about like when somebody's stupid, we compare their density to like different loaves of bread, and I don't know why in my head that like makes perfect sense. That you'd be like, let me write a romance novel about bread.
Like, you know anything about what breads are denser than others?
Not anymore. I just look at the density from afar. Much like when these people write about sex that they've never experienced. I write about
Yeah.
bread that I've never experienced.
But, like, I do feel like they, like, go... I mean, yes, my Tarzan man, make my ape go shit. They know that they're fucking around. They know that they're, like...
Yeah, there's no way.
That's a 3 a.m., like, giggling with, like, Final Fantasy music playing in the background, like, type that out, and then it goes to press.
What is the title of this book?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. Writing is hard. But writing these
writing
novels,
when you're hard isn't.
I don't think anybody's like aroused when they're writing this shit. Or they're too aroused.
Yeah, I think it's more of that one, because you're telling me people don't hole up on Adderall for a whole weekend writing weird smut shit and they're not like the creeper in the corner.
White-knuckling it,
Yeah. Never let me go, Jack. You being Jack, her
But-
being the penis.
I mean, good books are good. And Dungeon Crawler Carl
Is so good.
is a
Holy
very
crap.
well written book. And
Good
I
Lord.
can't believe we're just gonna do this podcast. It's Dungeon Crawler Podcast is
Yeah, we're actually abandoning this one to make our Dungeon Crawler Carl podcast where we just talk about each chapter.
where are you at so far?
Um,
I didn't mean to
Well-
actually go down this avenue.
Princess Donut shit in someone's mother's ashes, which is still my
Yes.
favorite line so far. I know that it's going to be uprooted very quickly,
You're
but it
gonna
is
get
currently
some.
my favorite. He just found they're in like the little pocket dimension area where they can get food and shelter. And then they went and like blew up a bunch of bugs in a cave. So I'm not too much further after when we chatted because it was like right before I got here, basically.
I'm not going to tell you my favorite lines because they're big spoilers.
I will be burning through these books fast, though.
Yes.
So you will be getting lots of updates in the near future.
We did spin a wheel last week and we got wild card, I think. So we got wild card comedy, wild card comedy, or wild
Well,
card
no, we
comedy,
had,
comedy,
like-
wild card.
Yeah, we had like wild card, comedy, wild card, or something like that.
Which
where it
I'm
was
very
weird.
thankful for because we did not have time to prep
No.
for anything else. I couldn't
No,
watch a
God, no.
movie. So what comedy? Like, I still have No Stupid Questions and Would You Rathers.
I also saved no stupid questions, so we can definitely do those.
All right, Rachel. If CD refers to compact disc, what's a full-size disc?
Of vinyl.
That's not very funny.
It's just the first thing I thought of. Because there's not, I don't know. Okay, here's my deal. If compact disc is supposed to be like a small disc, then when we made, do you remember PSPs?
Yeah,
Those played tiny discs. What the fuck are those called?
the UMDs.
What does UMD stand for?
It was Universal
Ultra
Midi-
mini disc?
It was Universal MIDI disc, I think, but which is funny because they're not universal at
No.
all. They go
And
with
yeah, what?
PSP only.
Maybe it's ultra
Fact
mini
checker,
disc.
what's UMD stand for?
University of Maryland.
Thank you.
University of Maryland, Dakota.
Isn't UMD like an explosive device of some sort?
EMP?
Or no, UMD is the birth control that women get in their arms, right?
Yeah, I installed my
closer,
UMD. I actually went to Costco and got my UMD installed.
Media disc.
Universal Media Disc? It is
Bullshit.
not universal,
Yeah,
not even a little
what the
bit.
fuck?
It's for PlayStation Portable only.
That's right. Try to
Wait,
play
is
a
it-
UMD on anything that's not a
Is
PSP.
it well? Okay, is it called like a universal media disc because you can write anything onto it?
I don't know.
Because like when you once you burn a CD, fuck, this isn't gonna make sense either. I was trying to remember like you can put movies on CDs, but those are different types of discs, so you can't
Yeah.
because
They're
they're burnt.
different.
Yeah, they're done differently.
But the UMDs are like they're like encased, entombed in like a plastic fucker. So
yeah,
you can't really do anything with it.
I really like Entombed. 'Cause
I still
it's
have a
fucking
bunch
true.
of movies on UMD PSP movies like in the back.
Somewhere,
Element, yeah.
I think I also have my PSP and a lot of old movies and games. And I'm like, damn, that little thing was fucking cool.
At the time it came out, like, it was $200, and I definitely got it. Like, I went through like 3 of them. I have a limited edition Final Fantasy Silver Mini one or some shit. I don't remember, but they were at the time like the best. This was pre Android phones, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
smartphones were not a thing yet, so you could get a PSP and then connect to Wi-Fi wherever you were at, like
Yeah.
at a coffee shop, and then fucking
Scroll the fucking internet. It was crazy.
yeah,
It's bonkers.
or play Patapon or watch a Fifth Element on PSP. Like,
Yeah.
the sky wasn't the limit, but like it was
Kinda.
it was as high as we could go at the
Yeah.
time.
No, I feel like honestly, I think handheld gaming had an interesting history, but I feel like the top two, the only thing that's really ever kicked it out of the way for me has been like the Switch was pretty like it's good. I like the Switch.
The Switch is like
small enough to carry
like
around.
a culmination of so many things, because like Nintendo, you're talking the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, and the Game Boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And those both have like this long history, and like the new better Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, the Nintendo DS, and then GameCube and the Wii, and then it all came together as the Switch. Like that's his story.
His story.
That's his story,
His
not your story.
His
Switches are for men,
and men alone.
but the Switch is. It sucks because I can't tell you the last time I turned on my Switch. I don't play it anymore. I don't.
Upsetting.
The Switch 2 was announced, and I was all like, I'm not gonna buy that.
Yeah.
I will years
You're like,
down the road.
someday, yes.
Well, eventually I'm gonna like want Metroid, the new Metroid Prime, because I got a
Metroid
boner for
slut?
Samus. No, but like I love the Metroid games, but I don't have fun with the Switch. I don't know what it is. Like
Oh, really?
I played a lot of Smash Bros when it came out, and I did both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and they're like fucking phenomenal games. But I was done. I put it away, and I never looked back.
To be fair, I mean, I could be totally wrong because as
are.
we're all aware, I don't play a lot of video games as much as I may want to sometimes. I feel like part of the Switch being super groundbreaking was they have a couple like flagship games that they put out that were just really, really, really well done. And so having those be able to be portable and you be able to scoot around with them was fucking cool.
Yeah,
But
Timing too.
yeah,
good timing.
the timing was, yeah.
Because it was
Fantastic.
like everybody had their DS with them at all times. The DS beat the PSP eventually.
Yeah.
I'm a huge PlayStation boy. I had all the PlayStations. I had all the PSPs. I never once had a PS Vita in my life,
No.
and I never will.
Nope.
It was because it was just like, why would I get that? I have my
Yeah.
PSP. My PSP could do everything I want, and the PS Vita just there's nothing for it that I can't just do on my PS4. I don't understand the
Yeah, it's
allure.
kind of useless.
And then there's the 3DS, which fucking has Ace Attorney on it. I don't need the PS Vita, man. I don't.
I like how that's what covered it for you. You're like, this has Ace Attorney. I'm good. I'm
Dude, Ace
square.
Attorney. Have you ever played Ace Attorney?
No, but I have heard it's really good.
I think the biggest issue with the Switch, though, as to why I'm not that interested, is because the games never ever go on sale ever.
No,
Never,
that's I feel
ever,
like a
ever.
straight up Nintendo thing though. It's like not
It is.
necessarily.
Like you go to
'Cause-
GameStop and like Zelda Breath of the
Holy
Wild
fuck.
used $68.99.
Yeah, like you could still buy it brand new for $70 fucking dollars, which is insane. It's
Or like just a
Bat
dollar off,
shit.
and it's like this is not okay.
yeah, no, this game's how fucking old at this point? Like I get it, it's still really good and looks fucking fantastic, but what? Like why? Why is it still this much? I think even when you buy the digital copy, it's only like a couple dollars less.
I think that what happened is they realized that their games are expensive and nobody's buying them. So what they decided to do is they did that whole friend pass thing. I don't know if you've seen that, the friend share system, where
you can
like
share games.
It was family share.
it's a new system. It came out, but it's like it's basically family share, where you're like you could just give a friend a copy of the game, but it's not physical, it's digital for like a certain amount of time and then recall it or something. I don't know the fine details because I didn't participate and I don't care. But it is a newer thing. I think it's only with the Switch 2, but I think that's the only way they were able to make it so that people are incentivized to buy a new Switch and then be able to share games, because they know people aren't going to be like, I'm not going to buy
The
Mario
fucking
Party
$70
37
shit.
for
Yeah.
$70 again.
Yeah, fuck that.
That new Donkey Kong game looks great though.
You're like, but that? Fucking cool.
It's only for co-op games.
No,
The Friend Pass?
for Nintendo.
Yeah, the Nintendo Friend Pass is a feature that allows you to play certain games with a friend for free, even if they don't own the full game.
That was with the old 3DS system.
Yeah, I think you used to be able to do that on the DS with
Yeah, it was like Mario
Kart.
Kart
Yeah.
had that.
For It Takes Two allows that also. So I think it's just specific games for the Friend Pass. You might be talking about something else though.
It's not called Friend Pass.
That's what this one
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, It Takes Two, and even the new one, Split Fiction is what it's called.
Yeah, that actually looks pretty
I forget
decent.
what it was called. But like that one, like if you go to Steam or PlayStation, it's free to download the co-op version if your friend's gonna play it and have you play it with them.
That is a nice feature of I just want you to play this with me. You don't need to buy the whole ass thing.
Because I mean, I used to just buy like the 4-packs of games. I'm like, here, friends, play with me.
Yeah.
Because
Before-
otherwise we're never gonna do this together. But now it's like, the games are already too expensive, and my friends are probably not gonna play.
It's called Game Share.
Game share. So like, what's the point of buying multiple copies of an expensive game that nobody's gonna play? Fuck that. Fuck you.
Fuck that, fuck you, and fuck this. I'm out.
Do you have a question for me?
Yeah. Segmenting my life with apple pie, is this unhealthy?
What does that mean?
I want you to guess what that means before I read this, and I'm not gonna guess because I did read it earlier.
Either you've incorporated your diet as to just being things that are in pie. So like for breakfast, quiche. For lunch, pot pie. Dessert, apple pie, whatever. That could be one possibility.
Yeah.
Another possibility is that they've gone fucking balls deep in categorizing everything, and they've like put their life into like, I have 10% work, 20% skill, 30% concentrated power.
That's
of
not
will.
even where my brain went when I read this.
And 100% reason to remember the game.
I thought it was the name.
You're probably right, Brittany. The song wasn't good, and I didn't listen to it.
But you know the lyrics.
No, I didn't. I just threw out random percentages.
It was a mathematical song, so I remembered it.
That's wild.
So when I read this, I took it as like I'm incentivizing my life with apple pie. Like as in if I do X segment of things in my life or in my day, I get a slice of apple pie.
I can't do that because I know that I would put in minimal effort and go good enough, and I would just
now
eat
I
the
get pie.
And I'm at the point now where I don't do anything and eat the pie.
I thought you were gonna say I don't do anything good enough. I eat the pie. It's kind of the same thing.
We just got back from a pie place where I had
Pie.
apple pie.
Yeah. To be fair, you got done with a day of work. That could be your segment.
I mean, I got a paycheck for that. That doesn't really count.
Yeah, that you bought the pie with.
That apple pie was really hard to eat. The apple slices were like full slices, and they were kind of thick and like hard, so like I couldn't cut the
crust also
pie.
looked really thick.
The crust was really good, but like the apples themselves, like you can't like,
Yeah, you can't
you
just
don't
like
eat a pie
Yeah.
all at once. You like, I'm gonna take the spoon and I'm going to cut a piece of the
Yeah.
pie slice. You can't do that with this because
huge
like
ass apple
it-
slices.
because it's like lasagna, but all of the noodles are like not cooked. So like it's like crunch, 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 and then you're like, I've just made a mess. What was the question?
Lasagna chips is all I'm thinking about now. Segmenting my life with apple pie. Is this unhealthy? I need you to know none of our guesses are remotely close to what the fuck they're doing. I've been doing something called, quote, apple pie since I was a child. I'll say apple, then time will pass, maybe weeks or months later. I'll say pie to close that segment of time. And then I'll say apple again to open a new segment. The time between the pie and the apple being said is lost, so I try to say it quickly or I try to enjoy that time knowing that it doesn't count. So the time between when they end one slice and begin a new slice either is in the void and doesn't matter, or they're just enjoying it because it doesn't matter.
Are they?
I need you to Google obsessive compulsive disorder.
Sometimes I do it when there's a life-changing, like, big moment. Sometimes I'll do it when I just feel happy and content. When I was younger, it was mostly just random happy and content moments, or if I felt time had passed. Now I give it more meaning and structure. For example, my current apple I started during a concert during my favorite song, but this is from the past 5 years that I've been doing it like that. I'm 22. Though I thought I'd share to see if anyone does anything similar. Is this a worrying habit to have?
Yes, bro.
I don't feel like I could stop it.
Who taught you this?
Anytime I'm happy or anytime I say a word that rhymes with a color, I have to touch a doorknob 4 times. Bro. Medication. What's the top comment? I gotta know the top comment.
It is not often that I hear something truly new and unique, but this certainly is. I've never heard anything like this. I love it though. I don't think it's unhealthy unless it's disrupting your life or holding you back in some way. It reminds me of some of the things people with OCD might do.
It is 100%.
But if it's just a personal tradition which you enjoy, then that's all it is. Next comment. I'm a therapist. This for sure is OCD. But you can't be diagnosed with any medical or any mental health disorder unless it is actively interfering with your life, because your life being negatively impacted is the most fundamental diagnostic criteria for disorders.
The first person said personal tradition, which is just another way of saying ritual.
Ritualistic
Rituals or habit,
suicide.
which is what OCD is.
Yeah.
It's constant like little mini rituals, because
Yeah.
if you don't do something in a correct way, in a correct order, then something bad is going to happen.
Yeah, life kerfuffles somewhere.
And like it's weird because like even the most logical people can have this weird superstition brain chemistry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good input.
Well, no, I was going to say, like, okay, so I don't have formally diagnosed OCD, and there's also lots of different types of OCD. I know for, like, I am 100% certain that I have OCD based
Brittany
off
has,
of, like...
Brittany has a level of it. I know for a fact.
It gets worse as you get older, too.
Oh, fantastic. And this makes all the
At
sense.
least for me, it has.
No, you're 100% right. It absolutely
But I know
gets
that there's
worse.
like different levels of it, like where people can just be like, we're harping on the people that post on Facebook, like, I have OCD because I like to make all my pencils straight. And then somebody's like, I can't touch doorknobs. Okay. That's not the same thing.
Yeah.
It is disrupting.
Yeah, well, and like having things that you want clean and organized is very different than having like legitimate OCD. And lots of different, there's again, different types, but lots of them also come with like really crazy intrusive thoughts and things that like bombard people on a regular basis. And it's like, yeah, there's you wanting your pencils straight is not nearly the same thing as, hey, have you ever thought about if you got into your car and murdered the child in the building next door?
That's a little.
How would you get away? What? What?
Well, I mean, like, does our house look organized and neatly? No, but Brittany definitely has OCD.
Yeah.
Like, it's
not. Yeah, it's not cut and dry.
do either of your parents have OCD? Like, did you grow up around
I
it?
think fucking maybe both of my parents do, to be honest.
Because Brittany's dad, like, for sure has it.
Yeah, my dad definitely, homeboy's got to be like, he's 7 different kinds of mental health going on. Like, he's probably autistic also. I've always called him anal retentive, because he's literally like, you could move a coaster in the house by like a millimeter and he'll be like, who the fuck's been in here? And you're like, me, I'm sitting next to you. Like, what the fuck? Hi. Like, why is this shocking for you? But like, everything has to go back in the right places. Like, everything for him, everything has to be clean, neat, and organized and like in its home.
That's
Otherwise,
no
it's
longer
wrong.
having all your pencils neat and color coded. That is definitely crossed the bridge of this is obsessive compulsive for no reason.
Yeah, no, and then, yeah, I don't know. My mom isn't like nearly as bad with like things need to be in exactly perfect spots, but she does have like a very strict, like if you, I don't know, let's say plan a party with her, like is an event happening, there's very strict guidelines of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like all through the alphabet needs to happen, and if they're done differently, she'll like come back and correct them. And shit like that.
That might not be OCD.
That's more of
That's
a functioning OCD that doesn't like affect negatively your life too much.
Yeah, no, it's definitely more of like a functional style of OCD. Sorry, I'm just repeating what you said.
That's fine.
I'm actually just stealing all of my material from Brittany. She's whispering in my ear.
Zero down.
No, it's definitely like more functional, whereas like I think whatever goes on with my dad is more of like it'll ruin his day if it's different. Whereas she'll like get like mildly annoyed and fix it or like just wants something a particular way. She for sure has like processing disorders because we finally got into a conversation about like I have really bad like audio overstimulation of if there's too many different types of sounds or like certain sounds going on.
Certain frequencies.
Yeah, it
Like I've talked about the Dyson vacuum where like you.
Yeah, where you're like, run! I gotta go!
Where
Yeah.
like, I'm like, where Brittany's like, can I vacuum? And I'm like, yeah, man, just
I'm like,
vacuum.
what the fuck are you
but
doing
then she'll
now? And
start
you're like,
doing it. And then like a minute later, I'm like, I'm panicking and I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's weird. Never used to happen. It doesn't happen with vacuum cleaners. Just that one specific
this
Dyson.
one,
Just
yeah.
like, it hits like a certain frequency where I'm like, I just go into fight or flight. Like my hair stand up on the back of my neck. I feel like a dog.
Brittany, do you ever just turn it on? Because you're like, fuck games
Next time we get in a
today.
fight, I'm just gonna turn the vacuum on.
Just start vacuuming down the hallway. He's like, no, backing up. No, but she, like her and I started talking about the concept of like, because I really like sounds, but there are definitely sounds in this world where if there are certain ones or too many going on, that I'm like, oh my god, like I feel like I'm gonna die because my like everything in my brain is just firing like red flashing lights.
No, I get that. Yeah.
And I finally talked to her about it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, like I too hate when there's particular sounds going on." I was
I
like,
too
"Yes,
hate
girl."
when it's loud.
I was like, "We know. That's why you go hide."
What were you saying earlier about William Dafoe?
Willem
Name.
Dafoe.
Oh, why his
Yeah.
name is changed like that? He did that.
He has
because his
OCD.
dad is also an actor named William Dafoe, and he
Oh,
did
yeah.
one
Oh.
so he went by Willem.
What if we called him Billum Dafoe?
He's like,
Can we start that?
to avoid being called Billy, he decided to have a stage name as
This
Willem.
makes way more sense.
Willem Dafoe.
Billum Dafoe.
Dafoe would have been a better option.
Do you think like when they're like, all right, William, we're gonna cut your check. Who do we make it out to? And it says Willem Dafoe.
Oh, thank you. I was like, if you're not about to make one of these jokes, I have one ready.
That was dumb.
Opportunity because he, with his straight face, would be saying that every time.
Billum.
Is it weird that my boyfriend watches Oppenheimer 3 to 5 times a week?
What the fuck? How do you have the time? That's a long movie.
It's like a 3-hour-long movie, isn't it?
Do you think he's like, yeah, wait, fact checker. Can you check how long? Because it's a long film. Do you think he's, okay, you know,
Literally 3 hours.
okay, so it's confirmed. It's literally 3 hours. You know how people watch Rick and Morty because they want to feel like they're Rick? To some degree, like not everybody, but the shitty incels. Yeah.
I mean, if you're in this house, you just put it on because you want background noise because silence scares you.
Including the vacuum.
Not vacuum.
Yeah.
Not
Not vacuums.
Certain silence.
Yeah.
There's actually a study being done of like how silence is really good for you. Like it's good to unplug and just sit in like
Yes.
almost sensory deprivation. I've
Yes.
been trying to do that more often.
Also, there's a bunch of
Meditation's
therapists.
a 90s word for it,
I
Brittany.
know, we're past that. No one
We're
likes
moving
that
on.
word
It's
anymore.
called quiet time.
Take your granola out of here.
We need silence, not meditation.
Sweep your granola off the floor and get the fuck out. No, there's also like lots of therapists, and like Brene Brown, who love her, fantastic, read her books. But she talks about like letting yourself be bored because the whole concept that we like
man.
always have something running in the background or like we're listening to it, even if it's just like I don't know. People have the whole concept of there's healthy distractions and then there's unhealthy distractions, and they get very picky and choosy about like, oh, well, if you're listening to a book, it's not the same as watching TV. And I'm like, it kind of is to your brain, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally the same thing as you're providing some sort of distraction for your mind. And you need to just sometimes be away from everything and let your mind just go.
Yeah.
What the fuck was the question?
I think it's fine to listen to music when you're doing that too, because like that's a big part of my job. Is my job is a lot of mindless stuff, and
Yeah.
like I'll either like I spend like the first 2 hours of my day listening to music, and then I'll spend like the next 2 hours to 4 hours either listening to more music or getting an audiobook out of the way. And that's the same thing as reading. Fuck off. But then the last 2 hours, like I'll watch like a TV show. Like I've got like a series I'll just throw on just to have on. But like I do think that like the most productive part of my day not just the labor that I'm doing, but like my actual brain is like in the early parts where I have music going and the music's going and I'm enjoying the music, but like my work is a lot of mindless, like I'm doing like just this is what it
For
is.
ye who are not here, Gamage is holding up one fist that he's just twisting in the air, while the other hand he's just making little clipping scissor motions.
I mean, that's what it is.
Only he's like very emphatically doing it. Because I imagine you're like mimicking your actual experience, but it just looks really funny.
But like there is nothing to it. Like I have to put in like 2% of my brain. Like every now and then I gotta like go, oh, this one goes here or there. Like that's really it. But I do spend a lot of my time like just being bored or like letting my mind wander, like letting myself think about things, because it is work and it's mundane, but it's like just not stimulating enough to where I'm able to do this. I have that privilege, and
you can zone.
And sometimes I'll do silence, and silence works too, but like music's a really good thing too.
Yeah, well, and sometimes there's like good enough, like I used to be a person that listened to music specifically for lyrics, and now I enjoy the concept of just listening to it for sound for that exact reason of like you can start zoning out and just kind of like getting into whatever vibe you want to be in, or whatever mental headspace you're looking for, which is nice.
I mean, foreign music's really good for that, like, or if you don't understand the lyrics, like
yeah,
German metal.
Maybe that's his Oppenheimer, is he just meditates to Oppenheimer.
As for the Oppenheimer thing, man, a freak.
Yeah, well, I'm just like, is it to go back to the theory of like when somebody, not everybody, because not everybody's the same person, but many of people who have gotten into Rick and Morty watch it because like they're like, yeah, I'm Rick, I'm smart, and I could build interdimensional traveling things, and like makes them like kind of feel good about themselves. Do you think he watches Oppenheimer for that same sort of like self-ego fluff where he's like, I understand this really complicated thing and I'm deep because I'm watching it repeatedly?
Yeah, where you're just like, I watched this movie a lot, so like I understand it. Like I feel like there's a lot of movies when I was younger that were like that. But I mean, the thing is my boyfriend is currently a film major in college.
Oh
my God.
I was literally that was gonna be my next one of like, either he has that like mental complex of like, I want to feel smart, or it's the same thing, but it's not about the subject material, it's about the physical film. There you go.
It was just his apple pie.
And also,
it's his apple pie is what Fact
and
Checker
also a
just
huge
said.
World War II history buff. That's
wow. Okay.
So
this is his jerk off porn.
Yeah, I recently saw a post of somebody saying like, actual historian here, you're not a history buff, you just like wars.
Yes.
Because a lot of people get fucking boners when it comes to like, the wars and stuff, and it's like. And like, no, I care about the actual like Silk Road and shit, and
it's the real fucking details. Different. Yeah, if you're like, I don't know, like I knew a lot about the Holocaust a while ago, but it was like all of the statistical shit that like how many people things like shit happened to, and like what their lives were afterwards, like how the rehabilitation programs went, like. If you're like, I just like really enjoy World War II stuff, and it's like, no, you saw like General Patton
supposed to
on TV once, and you're like, yeah,
you're supposed to be horrified.
No,
and
it's
then,
awful.
Like, you're supposed to be horrified, and then go like the good guys, kind of won.
It's more like morbid curiosity when people have like Holocaust deep details of like the camps and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm over morbid curiosity.
Yeah, I know. It's
like America barely like we showed up like the last day and we're like yay, and then we came home and kissed a woman who wasn't expecting it.
And that's the thing about people who like.
There's that famous photo.
Yeah,
of, like,
she was like, I didn't fucking know this guy.
Yeah, he just came up and just kissed her, and like it's posted
not cool,
everywhere.
Man. Yeah.
But it's just so funny that like the behind the scenes is sexual assault. That's
Surprise, America! Look what we are.
We barely did anything in a war and sexually assaulted a woman day 2.
Well, and it's so fucking American for that to be the pipeline of what happens, and then to be like, yeah, fucking World War II, yeah, like I'm a World War II buff, and you're like, no, you freak.
Meanwhile, we literally have Gestapo renamed happening right fucking now. We have secret police that don't wear uniforms, they don't have any badges, they don't provide any warrants, they just show up and kidnap people in vans.
Yep, and then they're not given any trials. Guys, This has happened. If you're a World War II buff, you should know that this is happening.
I assure you, Rachel, that the World War II buffs are usually on the other side.
I know, and that's why I'm like,
Remember, all of those videos you see online of like these of ICE agents just kidnapping a random person, there's like 10 more that aren't being videoed.
Oh yeah, there's a fuckload. There's shit that happens that nobody gets videos of. There's shit that happens that nobody witnesses. Like there's also we're doing shit like
they're not always getting him in public fucking places.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes it's at 3 a.m. like behind a Burger King.
Well, and like we're doing shit like there's been a couple of videos of one is there's like a line of police or SWAT and they just shot an Australian reporter.
Yeah.
As she's like, there's nobody around them. Like, there's nothing going on.
Not even
she's
the only
just
reporter
talking
shot that day,
and
Rachel.
just and that's the point. And then there was a video recently of a girl trying to walk home to her apartment, and there's a firing squad in front of it. And she stands like 15 to 20 feet away from them and is like pointing at the building. She's like, I fucking live over here. Like, can I? She does not say fucking. You can't actually hear what she's saying. She's like pointing at the building, talking to them. And is like gesturing to where she lives, and they just shoot her in the stomach, and then she like drags herself away.
Yeah, because they don't care.
Again, and for
they're getting
every
wet
video
over this. Their nipples are all, you can't see through that riot armor, but their nipples are diamonds.
So hard. Yeah. Again,
anyway, he watches
video.
Oppenheimer 3 to 5 times a week, which is about 9 to 15 hours of Oppenheimer a week. He has done this without fail ever since the 4K Blu-ray came out last year. Jesus. He says he does it because he wants to make a film like Oppenheimer in the future. Okay, coming from somebody who participates in creating art,
yeah,
you can't just read Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
and be like, I want to write something like Game of Thrones. You
Yes.
have to expand. You read everything. Read as much as possible, watch as many things as possible to get an idea of what you want. If you just watch Wes Anderson movies, your movies are gonna fucking suck. Just like Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is, like, if you only consume one type of thing, I got into this same exact debate with one of my friends who likes fan fiction, but she's been reading, like, only one particular type of pigeonholed fan fiction for, like, the past year. She just started getting out of it, and I was like, dude, you're never going to write something of like any merit if you don't expose yourself to other writing.
Yeah.
Like you cannot just read the same things by the same person or the same genre by like the same group of people constantly, because you're just going to write that. That's all that you have in your brain. That's
and that
all
was
that you've been
something I was even
exposed to.
talking about earlier too. And I even have issues with that sometimes, where I'm like, sometimes I'm afraid to read other things while I'm in the middle of writing because I'm afraid that it's going to be too just
influenced.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get too influenced with what I'm writing, and then what I'm writing is just gonna end up like Game of Thrones with the names changed.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I don't read that. But honestly, when I was reading this post, I thought of my father. My father, my blood-related actual father, is weird. I don't see it as like the context definitely puts it into perspective, but it sounded like another obsessive compulsive thing, because my father would just put on a movie and just repeat it nonstop. Like
replay the same movie
back to back. There are times where I was woken up in the middle of the night to like the DVD menu of Nightmare Before Christmas, just going and going and going, and I'm like, can you press play or take it out? I liked Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, it's not even the only person in my life to just put things on me and be like, this is your personality, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You like sushi?
That's never happened to you.
Oh, I mean,
certainly not by me.
We just went to sushi last night because I wanted to go, right?
You were so
Gamage was the largest proponent of us going to sushi, and I stand by that.
I tried to get out of it. Like we had dinner with friends, and I'm like, oh, okay, great. Can I go see a movie instead of your thing?
Please.
And they were closed, by the way. There was no way I was going to get to see that movie.
Happen.
It was not going to happen. By the time we sat down, I looked it up, and I was like harumph about it.
Yeah.
It's good food. I do love sushi, but I don't like sushi as much as I think Rachel thinks I do.
No, I've dropped it off the Gamage catalog. It's just Spider-Man and Final Fantasy now.
Oh, Playboy too. Don't forget, I'm real big into
No,
Playboy.
I just assumed you're a man with a penis, and that at some point in your childhood you've come across Playboy. So I was like, also you said you used to talk about going to Playboy parties, which I get are like different, like it wasn't Playboy, but I don't know. I was just like, perhaps he would know about this.
I want to go to 4 of my neighbors' houses. No, wrong generation. I want to go to a mall and find other men my age and be like, have you ever opened up a Playboy in your fucking life? 9 times out of 10, I'm going to get no.
The fuck?
No,
You could
I'm
afford
pretty sure a
Playboys?
good amount found their dad's Playboy.
Yes, and that's why I'm like, our generation still like understands the concept of this, because it was pre-internet, so you would be finding the magazines of the predecessor before you. This is how my cousin's house worked. There were Sports Illustrated in the bathroom, and I was like, your dad's ordering this, and then you guys are looking at this. Like, we all know the pipeline that's happening here.
I'll grant you that, but I will raise you that no boy is going to retain which model is which. They're just going to be like boobs because they're young. Like,
you have
it's a
weird
different culture
interests.
thing.
That's why I was like, maybe he would know, because I fucking don't.
I did have a friend whose dad liked a very specific model, and he was like a Harley Davidson guy. So
Wow,
he
that's
had that one
so
model
unlike them.
plastered all over his garage. So you know there are people like that. Though.
Yeah, they exist.
Sure, but like I'm just saying that people in my generation and so forth are like we know OnlyFans models. Like we'll know like random porn actresses from like the early thousands, but like I cannot tell you a single Playboy model.
I don't know, man. It was just a shot in the dark. It was clearly a poor and what's the word I was looking for? Sore spot. Hey, Gamage.
Yeah.
The last guy I slept with cried during sex and kept saying, "Don't leave me," while he was finishing. I found it strangely moving and I kind of liked it. Is that weird?
That's not weird. The weird part is that he says, "Don't leave me," as he was finishing.
Yeah.
Like, don't leave me. Like that's what he.
Don't
went
leave
with.
me.
Sperm, don't leave me.
Stay in.
Yeah, he's talking to the sperm. He's not. Don't. No.
He's actually been edging for a year, and you kind of ruined his streak. Oh,
That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
wild
I can see like, you know, some people have like a motherly thing and they get like very endearing of like, I'm needed, I'm wanted. It might say more about you, maybe not necessarily weird, but maybe you've got some shit you gotta
some
work
other
out with.
shit you want to talk about. Yeah.
Rachel, if vampires can only get into your house with permission, wouldn't "you may come inside if you are not a vampire" be foolproof way of letting someone in?
I don't know, because I think they can get the technicality of "you may come inside" because they hypothetically
what I
have
would
super
think, yeah.
speed. They could just zip across the door frame, and then it's too late.
But like where does it begin? Where does it end? Because vampires are there's never been like 2 times where a vampire was the same. It's different rules every fucking time. Sometimes they don't even have that weird rule. It is a weird rule. Like vampires are these like
Extremely polite
weird,
creatures.
crazy things, but
You
like
actually,
they stop
when you
at
get
the
turned
door.
into a document, when you get turned into a vampire,
You've been
I got bitten by Clippy.
Oh no, I've been converted to a pedophile.
I got bit by Clippy, and now I can't use word. Oh, fuck. Jesus, I'm gonna show up as a vampire document. You're gonna be the only person that gets it.
I'll be a pedophile.
You already are a pedophile.
How dare you?
Oh, fuck. You know when you texted me the other day and you were like, are all children pedophiles? I looked up the definition of pedophile and the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Any child that's not asexual is a pedophile.
That's why I asked.
Oh,
that also wasn't
fuck.
for their ears. Fun fact: most people, like when they're like attracted to teenagers, they're not pedophiles. It's called like hebophile or something like that. But you can't make that correction without not sounding like a pedophile.
Yeah,
You can't be like,
what?
technically I'm into teenage girls, so it's a hemophile. And it's like, that's
still
weirder
bad,
that you have a
dog.
term. That's the equivalent of that Transformers guy with the fucking Romeo and Juliet card. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, what?
In Transformers 8, 5, Bumblebee, I don't know. But like in one of the movies, the one with Mark Wahlberg, of all fucking people, his daughter is like underage, and he like ends up meeting her boyfriend under the circumstances of Transformers. God, Michael Bay, get it together. But like he meets him, and he's like older, and he's like, it's okay, and he pulls out a laminated card that like has the Romeo and Juliet law, like see, if you're dating before you turn 18, it's fine, and he has it laminated in his wallet. Why does he have that ready to go?
That's actually genuinely concerning.
Yeah.
Like, deeply.
Why, Michael Bay, why'd you think of that?
Why? Who on the writing team was like, hey, we should include this? Why the fuck do you know about that? What the shit?
Knowing about it, you know, like, sure, they could have been like, oh no, it's a Romeo and Juliet law. Let me explain it, which is creepy. Having a card
Is
creepier.
so much worse.
Having it laminated
Is so much worse.
Showing that card
It-
to
How often
That's
are
the
you- how-
question,
like,
is why are you touching this
I-
so much that you were like, I actually need to defend this from the oils of my skin?
Yeah, I need
and
the
it ate
laminator.
the
It's
test
gonna get
of
a dark
time.
spot on the corner.
Yeah. The fuck? Jesus.
Anyway, vampires might not be able to get into your house.
Yeah, when you get turned into a vampire, you actually have to sign a document that says you'll follow the utmost of politeness based off of Middle Age laws, medieval laws.
But like, there are different kinds of vampires. Like, I know that one of the oldest forms of vampires they have like, what is it called? Like, countophilia or something.
Necrophilia?
Yeah, but no, it's where they
Where they have to count shit. Like, yeah, that's the
the count,
not Elmo.
the count,
Yeah, is it from Sesame Street though?
the count.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay,
you got
cool.
it. You're there.
Like, yeah, go on. Yeah, no, it's based off of that. Well, I think and there used to be like a rule that if you spilled something, I think it was like sugar, rice, in front of a vampire, they would have to stop and count it, and like that's how you could get away.
Yeah.
So here's what you do the next time.
OCD disorder.
Yeah, vampirism is actually just OCD.
That's why
That's
they can't
why
come
we're all
inside
like
without
this.
asking and then touching the doorknob 4 times.
A lot of weird rules.
Lots of strange rules that are self-imposed.
Rituals are like ingrained into vampirism.
Yeah, okay, so vampirism is just OCD, is what I'm learning. Someone back in the day was just really OCD, and somebody was like, you're a monster.
Well, I mean, we primitive humans are the worst.
Oh, God, yeah.
We'll,
We're
like,
so
see something
we're
that we don't
judgmental
understand, like-
now. Are you fucking kidding me? Holy crap.
I mean, like, all it took was a girl to have pseudo ADHD, and they're like, she's a witch burner.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite thing is that the Bible. Yeah, we're going there. We're going there.
I can't wait. Which book
The
in the
Bible is all just like compiled WebMD.
What?
Everything in the Bible, it's like, thou shalt not this, thou shalt not that, has like a medical reason behind it for primitive humans.
The shellfish.
You can't eat shellfish because you're in the fucking desert, homie.
Where did it come from and how long did it take to get here?
Well, that's
Thou
there's-
shalt not lay with a man because you don't have toilet paper.
That's why.
Douching is not a term in your
And
vocabulary yet.
therefore, we don't want everybody walking around with shit dicks, so stop fucking Paul.
What would mixed fabric be though?
It's
Do not
itchy.
Mix what was it? Materials.
You can't be above your brethren by having soft clothes.
I mean,
You
it
must wear burlap.
they probably didn't understand and thought that like, oh, well, that fabric which is contaminated with lice and crabs is bad fabric and you shouldn't mix that. And it's just, no, that's just crabs and lice.
It's just crabs. Yeah, well, there's some other spot in the Bible where it's like, man shall not spill his seed. And if you look at the history of that country, there was like a huge deficit of children. And they're like, just start fucking people. Stop masturbating everywhere, please, God.
It was against the Jewish thing.
Oh, a big surprise.
Don't give the Jews another thing to complain about.
Yeah.
I learned a friend of mine, he's Jewish, and I recently learned that he came from a Mormon family, and I'm like, you have the most wild fucking backstory ever.
So, did he convert to Judaism?
No, he is Jewish through like the pipeline that is being Jewish. And then I think, because that's through your mom, right?
Is it not through your...
I think your mom has to be Jewish for you to be considered Jewish.
Oh, it's because that's the passageway you come into the world, maybe?
I don't fucking know.
Vagina
Fact
is
checker,
the
can
Jew
you...
doorway?
Fact checker, can you check that? And if that's true, I'm getting...
Yeah, Google...
I'm getting Jew doorway tattooed on my vagina later.
Fabric thing. What am I looking up?
How to be Jewish, because there's like, it's a lineage thing.
You're just going to get a bad wiki how.
How to be Jewish. Attach these curls to the side of your head.
Stop eating pork.
No,
Is what,
there's a genetic line that has to be consistent for you to be considered like truly Jewish. Like you can't marry into being Jewish. You can't adopt the Jewish religion.
You can convert. It's just you're not seen.
It's not the same.
You're not kind of looked at the same. But
Yeah.
like, so if you're a Jewish man and you get your bar mitzvah, all that stuff, and you love bagels and you're funny.
You love bagels.
For Orthodox conversion, it's often expected that your entire immediate family, including your spouse and children, have to also go through the same process to become Jewish. But
I'm looking specifically for the lineage of whether it's through your father or your mother, but I'm pretty sure it's your mother.
yeah, it's your mother.
I mean, that makes sense from just thinking about it. But like, so if you're that guy, and then you get with like a Protestant and knock her up, I mean, that's already crossing a lot of borders. But the child that comes out, if you take them to Juilliard, I don't know, Temple, I apologize.
Take them to see
I
Julian
don't know.
Baker. They'll become Jewish.
Oh, it depends on the branch of Judaism too, obviously.
There's a lot. Yeah,
Because I
it's
looked up,
not as
like-
expansive as Christianity, but like, you know,
Look, here's the deal.
two people cannot get along on what the actual religious small text is, and that's the problem.
Here's the deal. Part of family Jewish, other married, part of family Mormon. Grew up Mormon, and then was like, what the fuck is this, and left.
Yeah, because it's fucking weird.
You
I
shouldn't
said,
be born into a religion because one of your parents is also a certain religion too. That's
well, they actually like, his family like attended church and things. Like they were in the Mormon grouping process.
It's weird. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Hey, Gamage.
Yes.
Is making out while one person has Mentos in their mouth and the other one has Coke in their mouth safe?
Why are you making out with anybody with Coke in your mouth?
That's crazy. Why are you making out with somebody while you have a Mentos? Could you imagine just like just spewing Coke into somebody's mouth? That would be wild.
Sorry, what was the actual
God damn it.
question?
Have you watched Sinners?
No, not yet.
Damn it.
It's
Okay.
it's on my list.
Is making out while one person has Mentos in their mouth and the other has Coke, as in Coca-Cola, in their mouth
I
safe?
imagine. I didn't think they had cocaine in their mouth like this. Man, Roger doesn't know how Coke works.
He's very confused.
He thought they were pixie sticks and just
Started chugging them.
it's getting in there somehow and still kind of working, I guess. Do you remember when, I don't know why this thought came into my head. Do you remember when we used to take chimpanzees, dress them up, and film them doing movie scenes
Yeah.
on TBS?
Yeah.
Why did we do that?
There's a whole era of time why movies now have to get very specific that no animals were harmed.
No
in the
animals were
making.
harmed.
They're like, because you'll just see a horse in a film now, and they're like, no animals were harmed in this film. And it's like, all you did was ride by. I didn't think so. Like, it's fine.
Well, because like there's fact checker, find out what the full Milo and Otis thing is.
Oh,
but,
I was
like,
about to say Milo and Otis.
yeah, Milo and Otis
I
is like
love
known
Milo
for
and Otis until
going
I
through
found
a
out.
lot of Milos and
And
Otises.
Lotuses. Jesus.
But
It's fucked.
yeah, why did we make chimpanzees doing Goodwill Hunting? Like we put wigs on chimpanzees and made them like, we trained them to do like mouth movements and then dub over it. And we're like, that's funny. Put those in between commercials.
Please, I want to see more of this. Of in between commercials.
Humans are weird.
Humans are fucking strange, and we love exploiting anything that like we see as beneath
bottom
us.
dollar.
Yeah.
Fact checker, how many Milos?
So this is rumor.
Because I remember that there was a rumor. It was one of those word of mouth things. I don't know if there's actually any merit to it.
So
Like the spiders eating sleep thing.
Or like
There
how
Where you eat 7 spiders in your lifetime, and it's like,
this
no,
is
you don't.
apparently- This is. I don't know how we would even fact check this because I'm sure.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. 5 drowned cats, 4 mauled cats,
Jesus.
2 cats pecked to death. 1
What?
cat swallowed by a snake. 3 drowned dogs.
What?
2 mauled dogs.
Hold on.
Also apparently let Otis die by the bear.
Hold on. Can you get closer and louder? This needs to be heard by the people.
Rachel,
Please speak into this microphone.
As Brittany started saying that, Rachel took a drink of Red Bull, which is a mistake.
I almost snorted it.
There was
I'm
apparently
gonna keep track of numbers here.
5 drowned cats, 4 mauled cats, 2 cats pecked to death.
Now stop.
We're at 11.
What do you mean peck?
Like by
I
a
have
bird.
not seen the movie.
I know
recently.
bird peck, but like
Probably chickens. There was films where the kittens were in with chickens in the movie. I
Oh,
believe.
God.
There was a
chickens
kittens.
are crazy.
We're
They'll
at
eat-
11.
Yeah. 1 cat swallowed by a snake.
Stop again. Where was the snake in Milo and Otis? I don't remember a snake.
They're out in the woods for a while.
It's been like 40
I
years
know,
since I've seen
I
it.
know. 3 drowned dogs. Believe that. 2 mauled dogs. I'm not sure
Possible.
by what. Also, apparently let Otis die by the bear,
Is that not mauled?
and apparently
Like, mauled by
thought
bears is a
kitten-
Is
saying.
that included or in addition to?
Oh, and threw a kitten off a 100-foot cliff. These are the rumored compiled.
Because I don't know about that. Because getting a stage animal is one thing, but like
Getting
going through
that
like
many?
14
There's no way.
you cannot imagine. You can't predict that you're gonna get 18 kittens looking the same.
Yeah.
That does
That
not
was like
work
16 dogs
Orange
and
cats
12
look
cats.
Pretty similar. And what was Otis? A
pug? Oh, good
Oh,
riddance.
God.
They
Sorry.
can breed those.
Yeah, they were
just
like,
bred more than-
it'll be fine.
The
They're
pug
dumb.
sat there on camera and just perished
That's why he drowned
in front of all of us. That is exactly why they drowned.
Oh, fuck. Jesus fucking
Stop having
Christ.
pugs, please. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, there's actually people that are breeding pugs now specifically to make their faces
Pug
long
breeders. We
again.
need to. Oh, okay.
No,
okay,
they're
okay.
specifically
All right.
breeding out the smush face.
Can you
so
just do that by
pugs can
breeding
live.
with anything that's not a pug?
Yeah, pretty much. I think they're just keeping the integrity of what a pug looks like, but getting rid of the smush face.
There is a huge argument about this, by the way, because some people obviously really love the movie, and they're like, "There's no proof," and then someone else is like, "The proof is literally watching the movie." You can see.
You
none
can
of this
see
would be
that all of
allowed
these
in
are
this
different.
day and age. Like I specifically remember them being thrown in a river multiple times.
Yes, I do too.
And with how
Oh.
often they had to do retakes and how long it took to film.
Yeah, they just
back
picked a new
then,
dog every time they threw it in the river.
They either used the same animal until it died, or they had to
Oh.
swap out them a lot.
Which is crazy. Like,
It was in a river rapid.
like my thing is like I was like wondering because like I know the rumors and I know the old saying and urban myth, but like what's the actual truth to that? Like there's no way they didn't go through at least one cat and or dog, but like
I mean,
Yeah,
most
just on
films that
stress
have
alone.
animals and babies and kids, they have twins of them.
yeah, absolutely.
Or they can in and out.
How do these people are like, I want to make a cute fuzzy movie about a
A
kitten and a puppy.
feel-good film by
Feel
killing
good,
18
we love
of them.
pets, and then fucking going through them like they're scratcher tickets.
Holy
There are
fucking
so many
Christ.
Other ones like how many animals died in Homeward Bound and in
Ugh.
Lord of the Rings and
I bet the original had way more than the newerish ones. Newerish being the 90s, because that's
meaning Lord of the Rings.
no, I meant Homeward Bound.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Homeward
yeah.
Bound apparently no animals died in the making of it.
In the newer ones, I'm guessing probably, but like the older one, which was called Homeward Frontier or some shit like that.
When I die, is it legal, if I've given my consent before death, for somebody to throw my corpse off a cliff?
There are rules about body disposal, regardless of what your wishes are.
Yeah, like you can't get taxidermied,
Yeah.
which would be so funny.
Like my wish is for people to attach wires to me to like a ceiling fan and play like the Space Jam theme song as I twirl around. Everybody get up. It's time to
jam now.
Now, that can't be done because of the health implications to the audience members.
I was saying recently I went to a funeral and I was like, I want to be thrown out of a helicopter in international waters because I'm like, I don't think there's a whole lot of rules because you're in international waters, right?
I feel like that's fine.
And it's like the equivalent of, because people can send you off in a boat
yeah.
and like light it on fire and stuff. Like a fish somewhere is going to start eating me.
If somebody's willing to spend money on a helicopter pilot to do that, power to you. But.
Yeah. Something that I really fucking want, the funeral or memorial that I went to last year, someone started playing Amazing Grace on the harmonica, and I'm 1000% sure that about 30 seconds in, they started playing a completely different song and then just end capped it and like started and end, like bookmarked it with Amazing Grace. And I have never wanted something more in my life than to force everybody who goes to my funeral to have to deal with someone playing like a harmonica or bagpipes or something. And they're like, I'm going to play, vacuum cleaner. I'm going to play Amazing Grace. Only like 30 seconds in, it just turns to My Humps. And then at the end, turns back into Amazing Grace. And watch everybody go, what the fuck?
Do you want me to say something else about Milo and Otis?
Yes, please.
Did
Rachel.
You know it's a Japanese film and filmed in Japan?
You did not know that.
So it coming over here, it had a
There are
ton of
pugs in Japan?
Probably because they were against the whole racist Japanese thing. Kind of like MSG, you know.
Right. By the way, MSG, safe.
It's just
I wouldn't say safe. Don't increase your sodium levels a whole bunch. But like...
Yeah, well, within normal human limits.
Yeah, people are like, oh, MSG is so bad for you. It's not.
Just fucking
it's
salty,
not.
dude.
It's not even... It's less salty than salt. It's less sodium than salt. Like, it's technically better for you than salt is. Like, I overheard somebody at work talking about like how like they're not doing salt anymore, but they're doing MSG because it's like
it's better for people with
better
high
alternative.
blood pressure because it's not as much salt.
Yeah, don't listen to the shit. MSG. When people talked about MSG gives you headaches, sodium overdose gives you headaches. Stupid.
Yeah, there's also everybody getting real weird about like GMOs, like genetically modified food and things and stuff. It's like,
I hate that.
Hey guys, literally like everything you eat nowadays has been genetically modified.
Have you enjoyed a banana in the last 400 years?
Yeah.
That's a GMO.
Yeah, it's
like
been
carrots?
evolving.
You like carrots and ranch? All of that is
GMOs.
GMO. I just hate it just because I like words and like the genetically modified organism is like, that's nothing. Yeah. That doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean shit.
Or when people be like, I want something that's organic. It's just like, can you put it in your mouth and make poop? That's organic.
Yeah. Yeah, dog.
Everything's organic, kitten. What?
Kitten.
So there was a lot of animal welfare investigations because when it first came over, people were like, oh, I need to report all this in this movie I just saw. These animals were abused. But they couldn't find anything like concrete that any of these animals were abused. But it was also filmed in Japan. So...
It's entirely possible that...
It was this is a Japanese film, we don't want to support this, because...
So it's entirely possible that the numbers could be doubled, or we were just being racist.
We're either racist or it's worse than we think, because it was covered up.
Wait, it came out in 1986? I thought it was way older than that.
No, 86.
I swore it was like from the 50s.
Are you thinking of like Benji?
No, well...
Benjo? Benji.
Benjo.
Benji was in the 80s too,
No, Benji's like the 70s at least.
Maybe.
Like the camera looks like it's the Ewok movie. Which was 80s actually.
Yeah. Terrible fucking film.
Yeah, I did not know that was a Japanese film, and I thought that was interesting. They had different names. They're not Milo and Otis.
Yeah, tell people that you're like an OG anime fan and then pull out Milo and Otis.
Oh, you like Japan?
I liked Japan before it was cool.
Dude, you think you're a weeb? Check this shit out.
Yeah, look at that cat. Kawaii desu.
It's Konako Monogatari is what it is called. Monogatari.
Yeah.
So it's part of the Monogatari series.
My birth certificate says I was born in 1670 instead of 1970, making me 354 years
That's
old
fucking cool.
instead of 54. Is there any fun legal way I can exploit this to my benefit?
I don't know about legal, but you could definitely like get in the newspaper. So like you could probably get paid for an article or something. That makes me so mad because my birth certificate's wrong by a month, which I enjoy the crap out of, and I fully intend to living 99 and 11 months. That way I can like be a centurion in the newspaper and then die before it's actually real and then be like, you're a fraud. Fuck you in my death. But that's so oh, senior discounts. They can't say no. You'd be like, I'm young.
They're 54, so they might already
No,
be
but
getting them.
they
It depends on
should have.
which.
They
'cause
should have taken it. Well, okay, hold on. If that's wrong, then you could have gone to the clubs or out drinking whenever the fuck you wanted in your life, because they'd be like, they would think it's fake though.
Yeah.
Could you imagine rolling up with your passport and being like, I'm 304?
My first California identification card said female, and I'm very clearly not female in the
I don't
photo.
know.
And that one was definitely like you give it to people. I didn't even notice it for like a couple years,
Yeah.
and somebody's just like,
The fuck?
"Are you female?" Like, no, like it says you are. And I don't know why it happened. Like,
Somebody just checked a box wrong somewhere.
You also renew
You
your
fill
ID
out that
every
thing
5
yourself.
years, right?
what?
You
What?
renew your ID every 5 years. Right?
Something like that.
They don't. Well, you don't always go through like the full renewal process of like redoing paperwork every 5 years. Usually, it's just like you're confirming something,
You
and
get
then
a
they
new
send it
card,
again.
so
Yeah.
Yeah, so depending on how long they had that card, they could have got some. I mean, some senior discounts is 60, 65 in some restaurants.
Yeah, homie, you should have been reaping rewards long ago.
There are like
I would have gone on so many podcasts and been like, I'm a real life vampire.
there are like certain benefits or things you get like if you were born during a certain window.
Social Security and stuff, but
Oh.
then that has to build up, I think. Right?
Yeah, maybe.
But it technically is building up since the birth certificate.
Yeah. You'd be like, why?
I have a lot to claim.
Yeah.
Is there any
I got
kind
a
of
lot
like
in here?
Is there any kind of like Chili's or Bennigan's kind of restaurant thing where it's just
Oh,
like
for sure.
like, oh, you're 50, we're giving you $50 in gift
they
certificate kind
do
of
that
thing.
No, I think
There's
it's
no
just
way.
senior
Too many
discounts.
people are living too long, but they.
That was a thing they did in the 90s. Same thing with like you're the 100th customer. Like
Yeah.
you cannot do that now.
You're not dying fast enough.
I mean, they could do something. Oh, you turned 100. There's probably a restaurant out there.
We
They're
need
like,
to put-
If you're 100,
Look.
come in and eat here.
We need to put
If
more
a bitch
MSG
walks
in the food.
If
You're
a
not
bitch
dying
walks into
fast
my
enough.
house and
You're
she's
not
like, I'm
walking.
100 years old, I'm like, I'll make you dinner. Good job, man.
It might kill you, but I'll make it.
I could do chicken parmesan.
There's dino nuggets.
There's dino
They're
nuggets.
gluten free.
I can make you quote unquote garlic bread. I don't know if there's garlic anywhere in it.
Garlic butter that
It's
we
just-
bought at the store.
It's just butter and then with garlic salt. And I also got that ranch seasoning from Trader Joe's. It makes it feel like real garlic bread. It's not. I cannot be more clear about this.
How to make cheap things fancy is our house's motto.
Dude,
It's a
listen.
subsidiary podcast.
You can make currywurst and like feel fancy. It is
It's
hot
just
dogs,
curry
ketchup,
powder and ketchup.
curry. Yeah.
It's very simple.
It's a German street food. It's delicious. I love it.
It's pretty damn good.
There's
There's better German street food, but it's pretty good.
I did like an augmentation of the recipe because the recipes I found were like use Worcestershire sauce, use soy sauce and honey. All of them use
You
honey
literally don't have to be that fancy.
though. No, you don't.
It's
But
like-
I want to be.
Yeah.
We're talking about being fancy.
You're talking about
We're
making
talking
about
cheap
cheap
shit
things
fancy.
fancy.
Yeah.
Cheap things fancy.
I'm just saying you can cut more corners. And it's still good. Gamage, I had a little chat with friends, and apparently I'm the only one that spreads his butt cheeks before sitting down to take a dump. I thought this was normal. How uncommon is this? Do you spread your butt cheeks? No
Like-
fucking way.
Holding them apart the whole time?
No.
Well,
like,
no, because
Sitting
once
cheek
you
like
sit, I think he's talking that when you, hold on, I'm backing up. I'm doing a visual aid for this. Fuck everybody who's listening. I think he's talking that when you start sitting, you spread them, and then you sit, and at that point, the seat is holding them in place. You do this?
I do a cheek at a time.
What?
We lean that way, lean this way.
I mean,
I have never in my life
it's not, like,
stretched my butt cheeks.
it's. I mean, like you're basically just like I'm gonna try to make this easier to wipe. is what the end goal is. So you push them together and sit down and just kind of fucking
baby it. Make it bigger.
Yeah, when I take a shit,
cream like
I
a
actually
toddler.
want it to be like one of those pastry filling things where you're like really pushing
Piping,
Yeah,
piping.
Yeah, piping.
Literally.
Thank you. Yeah. I don't think my butthole's enough. It needs to be a smaller aperture.
Because I mean, like if your butt cheeks are too together when you're shitting, then it's just like creating a big fucking
I mean,
mess.
I don't disagree. Like, I feel like I have enough butt cheek that I've experienced enough problems that like I get the concept of spreading being helpful.
I'm betting.
But I've never actively gone out of my way to be like, let me shift these around.
Yeah, and then you get like toilet paper and you like line the toilet with it to like get that torque.
What?
You get toilet paper to hold them, so like it's creating a grip.
Toilet paper doesn't create a grip.
Yo, wouldn't that be
It's the opposite of what
slipperier?
you want.
I know what I'm talking about, Brittany.
He dribbles
It
water on it
pre-games.
so it glues itself to the seat.
Paste toilet paper onto the seat.
It's actually all
Like most people do that to get moisture off the seat.
yeah. He's the one putting it on.
He paper maches the toilet before sitting on
Yeah,
it.
thank you. I was about to say he paper maches his ass. Oh fuck.
It's one of those things that's more common or not as common unless you ask someone, and that's what No Stupid Questions is about.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
Pie.
Find out how
Pie.
many people
This
spread
is
their
the
cheeks
segment
while
for
sitting
me.
down.
This was the segment for me.
Oh,
It's
you're gonna
people
say
spreading
chart?
their butt cheeks. I once long ago I said apple and now I'm saying pie.
Oh.
This is my pie
I
segment.
don't know why I thought it was pie
Everything in
chart.
between doesn't matter anymore.
Is it possible for a woman to woman-splain to a man?
Okay.
I have an answer, but go. I don't want to
think-
mansplain it to you.
I think it's possible for anybody to explain anything in a condescending manner. I don't think it's necessarily possible for somebody to womansplain to a
I
man.
disagree.
Like, yeah, you can condescendingly explain something to somebody. I just we don't really have a term womansplaining. So like, I guess yes, but I think it's kind of the same concept of like, shit being a systemic problem versus like a case by case
Like
basis.
I don't think it happens enough to where it's like it's an actual
It has a
epidemic.
terminology, yeah.
Because men will like to just explain things. I know for me, because like I definitely have done some types of mansplaining in my life, but that's not because I'm
mansplain
talking
every
down
day.
to people.
Yeah.
It's because I'm talking down to you, sure, but it's
When
because
aren't you,
I'm
though?
so excited to talk about Spider-Man that I'm just gonna go off king. I'm king.
To
I'm
be
gonna
fair,
go off.
I don't think that's mansplaining. It would be like if you went to a convention with like a somebody that's like a woman that like helped make Spider-Man, and you were like, actually, in this,
Sure, yeah.
like it's like
I
that
think
kind
actually
of vibe.
is the use there.
Yeah.
For me, it's more of like you're going to a toddler and asking him how his day was.
Yeah, for you, it's your niche interest is popping off.
I think woman-splaining is not the right term. I think we should call it mother-splaining.
Ooh,
Because
I like
when
that.
a woman because I've definitely seen it where like a woman's like overly nice and she's like kind of talking to him like he's a child. Shut up. Yeah. Well, you have to clean up the pee on the toilet seat or it'll be wet. Like that's mother-splaining. I think that works.
Okay, no, I like that a lot, and I've absolutely done shit like that where like
I mean, I've done it too.
the guys that
as a man to a man.
as a man to a man. Good job, Big Bobby. You're doing great.
Well, I like to, there you go,
Willem
sport.
Dafoe.
Like,
Yeah. No, I have actually. There's like a couple guys that I work with, and there was a point in time where I explained something to them, and the reason I explained it is because my fucking boss mansplained it to me. So I was like, clearly this was important enough that he wanted everybody to know. So I started explaining it. And Tyler looked at me and was like, "You don't need to talk to me like I'm dumb." And I was like, "I'm so sorry. I was literally just
Straight from
parroting
the
the way
horse's
that
mouth,
somebody
okay?
else talked to me today."
You know how it feels now, 'cause this is how I'm constantly told things.
You know what word I really love? Heap eating. It's when
Heap eating?
Yeah, heap eating. I think it's a great word because it just sounds weird, but it's when a woman says an idea and a man repeats it and gets the credit for it. A dude did this to me in a meeting the other day, and I like audibly laughed because I'm sure it's happened before, but I've never been so party to noticing it instantaneously, where we're in a meeting. And I literally said something, if I said like apples, oranges, and bananas is like the answer to what we were like, whatever we're talking about. He like 2 seconds later was like, "Oh yeah, bananas, oranges, and apples." And I was like, "You son of a bitch." It's like, I just said all of these things.
I mean, gender side, that happens to me and you all the time. Like, where like you'll say something, I'm like, "Oh, those are the words I just used. Thanks
Yeah.
for repeating them in
Yeah.
a different order. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome."
Fuck you.
There's also been instances where, like when we were in Japan, like I would say something,
Dude.
and they'd turn to Chris and look at him, and he'd just say the same thing.
Japan is sexist, yo.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
Like the rooms are in our names, and like
They're
Brittany's
in
the
my
one in
name.
front talking. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in her name. She's talking to the receptionist,
And they're
the
like-
receptionist is like, "Chris, right? Like,
Hi,
she's,
hello.
I'm not. No,
Yeah.
He doesn't know shit about any of the plans. 'Cause
I have my autism propeller hat on. I've got my phone. I'm not
Then
paying
you have
attention."
to
Like, I don't even know
switch
who you
while
are.
playing Zelda, and they're like, "Sir, can you please?"
Yeah, no, that shit happens in like normal day-to-day life, but it's just really funny. That's why I'm like, I know that it happens. I know that I've been party to it, but it's funny when you catch somebody who does it because they just like don't give a fuck about what you have to say, and they're just like, you're a nothing person. So any sound that comes out of your mouth is my own brain.
Yeah, it's doing it without regard to the people around you.
Yes.
It's like you can not realize something and be like, "Oh," and like, but like
Yeah,
if you're
oh
like
fuck, my bad.
like manspreading, I don't think is a real thing. Manspreading, yeah, but like there are guys who will just like not even like
Yes. and
notice that
that's-
they're
yeah.
a problem. But like I will say, we got uncomfortable balls down there. They are
Yeah.
never comfortable ever, and they are hot and they're sticky, and you're just like trying to re-rack on the bus seat. You're not trying to be an asshole, like. But like, if a girl comes by or even another guy, I'll just
Yeah, you
do
tuck
this.
it up a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's
be
the thing.
a courteous
It's like,
fucker.
all of these things happen and both gender of people do these things, but it's the discourteousness of like, I've never had to account for somebody else being in my space kind of a thing, I think is where like the mansplaining, heap eating, and like manspreading shit comes from. Whereas like other people have had to account for me to make up for the fact that I'm doing these
Yeah.
things. Because like doing shit out of ignorance, being like, my bad, I did not notice that I just did that, is so wildly different than just being like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, because like
I'm here. Get
Because
out.
I'm at a point now where I'm like, I'm a condescending douche, but if I am a condescending douche to a woman, that's mansplaining. Like, because you can't mansplain to another man. Like, that's not a thing.
You could try.
That's true.
Well, I mean, you could mansplain to another man because I think it's lost like gender meaning, really. Because like I don't know because the concept is like if you were explaining something that other person reasonably knows, or that you reasonably know that they know. Like if you fucking went up to a rocket scientist and you're like, "That's just how you make rocket fuel," you're fucking mansplaining.
I
Doesn't
recommend
matter
a
if they're a man or a
subreddit. Do you
woman.
know who I am? It's so
Do you
good.
know who I am?
Instead of woman-splaining, we should call it kindergartening, because you're a kindergartner teacher responding
Yeah.
to...
I mean, I already called it mother-splaining.
I
think
like
that's good enough.
mother-splaining.
But
Yeah.
mothers tend to not... They're not always as gentle
Mothers
with their
are-
kid as a kindergartner teacher is.
Mothers are way different now.
Yeah.
Like they're like, I feel like the image of mother that I'm putting on it is like an older
I'm talking
version.
about like a 50s mom is
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
pictured.
Like the
Yeah.
nuclear,
Where
like
they're not allowed
Yes,
to
the mother.
yeah, like
we
nuclear
have boy
family.
moms now, and boy moms are
They're
not
terrifying.
gonna do.
They're horrifying.
Yeah, they're
They're creating
There's something.
monsters,
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Horrible.
Like
They're
every-
children.
spreading mansplaining
like
instead
every
of
time I see a boy
mother-splaining
mom
to them.
like post on like Reddit or something, I'm like, that kid is gonna be a Brock Turner for sure.
That kid's gonna
Brock
be...
Turner's a rapist, by the way.
That kid's horrifying already. Yeah. I love he's a rapist, by the way. In case you forgot who he was, he's in textbooks as a rapist.
Dude, I saw a post of somebody being like, my friend knows Brock Turner, and like his life is like, if he wanted to come hang out, like he had to make sure that there was nobody else. It's not in public. And it's like,
why are you still friends?
why are you still friends
The
with
fuck? That's always
Have you
such
tried
a
not
bonkers
doing
thing.
That good of a friend to go through that many hoops to just hang out.
I mean, it is entirely possible. This is going to sound really bad from me. It is entirely possible to like realize your mistakes and try to
be
do
a
better
person.
and move on from it. And it could be possible that Brock Turner's like, I really fucked up, and I'm celibate for life. I cannot be trusted. I will be a better person. It's the fact that no punishment was done is the big fuck you to the victim. Because like the judge like literally said like boys will be boys, and like I'm a boy and I've never done that. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
He was drinking.
Well, yeah, and the concept that, like, you're basically a fucking wild animal who doesn't... That's the crazy part about the boys will be boys argument, is like, okay, so you're saying that all men are basically wild fucking animals that can't control their urges? Why the fuck are you a judge, then?
Yeah, you can't have it both ways.
Oh my god, if you're gonna pull the every time women are on their periods, they're fucking psychopaths card, you can't... If you see a woman in an alley, you're like, I can't not rape her.
Oh,
what?
I can't be
The
near
fuck?
you.
You should not be in charge.
Was it Stephen Fry who said this? Who was talking to like a religious person? The religious person is just like, without religion, men would be raping as much as they want, and he's just like, I already rape as much as I want. That number is zero. Why are you talking about this?
No, that's always crazy to me when people use religion as like this concept of like, without this, I'd be a terrible person, and
you might be a terrible person.
Yeah, I'm like,
watch The Good Place. Your intent behind it matters.
Like I get that some people live in that
if
reality
you're
of
not
like
if the thought of afterlife being rewarded is the only barrier
between you and being a terrible person, you are a bad person. Yeah,
you're just a psychopath, man. Do better.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been listening to music lately.
Wait, can I ask one more question?
Yes, one more question.
What's stopping someone from training a carrier pigeon to assassinate the world leaders? Why is it always a gun? Can't we get more creative?
Yeah, absolutely. You absolutely can.
You know how when we joke about Taylor Swift, we're like, her fans are gonna come bum rushing through the door and assault us? I'm just waiting for unmarked ice agents to come get us now.
We like Taylor Swift too. Like we're on.
We don't like ice agents.
We're just a
drawing.
part of the Taylor Swift fans that can be critical.
Yeah. The woke Taylor Swift fans.
All right. What did you recommend last week? Because I don't know if I actually listened to it. Oh no, we just did.
We just talked about so much music last week. I don't think I recommended
I had a recommendation, and I think you did too.
It's very possible.
You know what? Fuck it. I didn't listen to it.
We all know you didn't listen to it. Let's move on.
You can't do that. I always listen to. Okay. So
you don't. Hey, you listen to my music recommendations more than I have listened to yours. I'm not offended that you haven't gotten around to it. It's okay.
The Gamma Rabbit list, if this is your first episode, was a weird playlist that my YouTube algorithm generated that was like new and weird and crazy. So I'm just going down the list in no specific order. Number 25 is Imogen Heap.
Why do I know that?
What you say?
Oh God, no. Okay.
I didn't know that was her. So this song called Headlock, it's a good song. Popped up on my playlist.
Does it start with?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
I think there's a little bit of that in there, but like I heard the song and I'm like, wow, this is really good. And I was telling Brittany, and Brittany's like,
holy fuck.
Isn't she? You hate that person. I'm like, what are you talking about? Then she described the song, and I'm like, oh yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I don't like you, Imogen Heap. Sorry.
But that song is good.
Yeah, Headlock is pretty good. Headlock is pretty good because I went into her discography and like I listened to Headlock. I'm like, this is good, and then I went to the next song and it was like a song for kids. It's like a
song for kids.
Let me pull up what the name of it is.
Also, I have no judgment for you liking one of her songs because I did recently recommend somebody that I was like, she has one of the songs that I hate the most in the world, but also here's a really great song and album by her.
Literally, the her most played song is the Happy Song, and it's like a
Ew.
song for kids. It's like a toddler sing along song. What are you listening to?
So I have also a 2025 album for you. It is not going to kick Lil Sims out of the rankings, but it is quite good. I'm gonna go with the whole album called Magic Alive by McKinley Dixon. He's a
I've seen that one.
Have you?
I haven't listened to it, but like
Okay,
I've
like,
seen
it just came out like June 6th.
I've been on albumoftheyear.com, and I told you not to go there because like it's a lot of people hyping up unheard of artists and shitting on mainstream artists, and it's like this is not helpful to anybody.
No.
But like I've definitely seen that one. That's where I got Ego Trip from. Did you listen to Ego Trip?
Who's it
I forget.
by?
But it's one of the ones I was talking with you about.
Yeah, okay.
Off
Yes.
the thing.
Yeah. I
Ego
do
Trip
remember
by
that.
John Michael Micko
Yeah.
and Anthony James. Anthony James.
I love Anthony Jack.
Anthony James. Well, the name was cut off. Ego Trip was a good album though. It's jazz hip hop. But I definitely got scared because like Ego Trip is the same album cover
I love watching you sound out words while you spell.
as Swan's
What
birthing.
the fuck? Oh yeah, okay. No, you did talk to me about this because I looked it up and was like, why is it the exact
They're
fucking
the
same
exact
thing? It's
same.
crazy.
Ego Trip's good. Swan's birthing isn't. I don't care.
Also,
at
the
me.
album cover's slightly better for Ego Trip. They're extremely similar, but Ego Trip has a different pattern, I guess. Sort of. No, I'm gonna go with Magic Alive by McKinley Dixon. He's like our rapper, singer. This particular album is very like, I don't know. I feel like it's a very Rachel suggestion where it's like hip hop rap, but it also has some of the like funkier style to it. But there's a couple songs in there that almost sound, and I'm sure you're going to listen to this and then be like, you're a fucking idiot. But they almost sound like Final Fantasy-esque where they have these like, there's like multiple instruments that have these, I don't know, like big, more
Symphonic?
classical, like, yeah, it's like symphonic
Orchestratic?
style to it. But it's really good. So it sounds like that style of video game music where it's like these big sort of like orchestra style sounds. But I particularly am gonna recommend Listen Gentle, and oops, I didn't mean to hit play. Don't do that. Yeah, I know, Kisa. Can we hear you on this?
Probably.
Listen Gentle's really good. It's talking about like, I don't know, it's him like talking to his younger self and like how to accept like the bad things that you as a child experienced and like accept those and then move on as an adult and like care for your younger self. But I was like, oh wow, this is actually like a really deep song, but the sound of the album's also really cool. So that's what I'm listening to this week.
Fantastic.
What have you been listening to? Kisa, speak. Kisa. Why are you like this? She's just purring now.
Rachel's not holding a cat. She has a sack of bananas.
Hey, it's potatoes. Fuck you.
Having a moment.
Kisa. Did you get gun shy? She's trying to headbutt the microphone now.
Chris, you say her name.
Kisa. Wow.
One more time. One more time.
Kisa. You could probably hear her breathing though. Our cat is a pug. Like,
Yeah, she is a pug.
anyway, spin the wheel. I gotta
Anyway,
kill myself in the bathroom.
ritualistic suicide. Anyway, that should be the title of the, the episode, and it's only said twice.
Yeah, it'll just get blacklisted
Randomly.
on every fucking platform.
Alive yourself is the term.
That's stupid.
Wait, can we talk about the issue with homeless can't be called homeless, but they also can't be called houseless anymore because that's also offensive.
But you're less than home.
Free-spirited folk.
Unhomed, roofless.
Vagabond?
No, that's
Nomad?
insulting.
Nomad. No,
Nomad-
nomad can be seen as racist.
Is it?
I don't know.
Nomad, I feel like implies that you want to travel though.
So
What
does
if I
vagabond.
just
Vagabond is
wanna-
traveler.
Yeah, but I feel like
Also,
vagabond
Hobo's
and
like, I
hobo-
feel like hobo and bum are like
They're more
the
slurs.
N word for homeless
Yeah.
people. That's not right. That probably isn't correct.
hit it with the hard O.
Hobo? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know you.
Sometimes when you're entertained, you get like a really good hearty goofy laugh. And it's so good. Oh, fuck. Thank you for listening. If you liked what you heard or you also think homeless people suck, please like and subscribe on whatever your most favorite is podcasting
Stop.
places. I don't actually think that.
I was
There's
homeless
lots of
once.
reasons people can be
I was
homeless.
homeless and working a graveyard job.
That's
the
fucked.
worst because that means you're sleeping in the daytime.
Yeah,
That
outside.
sucked.
Yeah.
Church parking lots always have trees. They're probably the nicest ones.
There you go, kids. Park in the church parking lots. You'd think the church people would perhaps help you.
You'd think, right?
But God's the only thing keeping them in line, so... if you liked what you heard or you just fucking hate us, please like and subscribe on whatever your most favorite is podcasting places. If you want us to talk about a thing or you want to send us hate mail, please email us at whtpah@gmail.com. That's at gmail.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at We Have That Podcast at Home, all one word spelled correctly. Or WHTPAH on Blue Sky. That's on Blue Sky. Next week we will be tackling the illustrious and fine art of
I'm watching what it's on.
It's comedy. It was absorbed. I do kind of think
That
we should
says
bring
slice
it back.
of life. That says slice
okay,
of life.
I have been meaning to discuss that I do think we should bring it back because life advice is a genre of podcast.
Yeah, but
That's also.
it's just comedy.
All of it's comedy. When we do true crime, it's comedy. The point is that we're supposed to have genres.
All right, well,
on the
slice
wheel.
of life. We're gonna watch a slice of life movie.
Hallmark.
actually, yeah, there is one we can.
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
We're gonna watch
okay.
a Hallmark film. That's what you're being subjected to next fucking
I've been
week.
on brand gamage. Did I even introduce myself in the beginning? I don't remember.
I don't think we did. No, you didn't.
Bye.
This is a weird
No.
pod episode. Bye.
This is, yeah, we laughed a lot. I've been off-brand Rachel, that's been off-brand Gamage. This has been an off-brand podcast because we're in the same house. And you had this podcast maybe in your home, perhaps in your car.